Why do I need to be good all the time? I'm wrapped around his finger, but he is mine. Don't care what they say, too late anyway. Why do I need to be good all the time?
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Britt, and I want to welcome you all to my channel, The Real Britt G's Vocal Lounge. I created this platform to do exactly what it says, to be vocal, both musically and just socially. I feel like I have a lot to say and I can encourage others while also encouraging myself and helping myself talk through and work through different things. You know, we're all in a time right now where everything is so different. So we are all going through so many changes, and we're learning so much about ourselves and about others and about our past and our present and where we want to go, who we want to be. So I thought that this platform would be great, just to express yourself, have conversations, find resolution, be musical. If you're a poet or an artist or any type of creative, I'm hoping that this platform can grow to something where I can just highlight the artistic world and just be free with what I want to say, what I want to do, and just encourage others, encourage myself, and just be all around expressive. I just know that I'm a free spirit and I do and say what I want. It gets me in a lot of trouble sometimes, but that's why I'm here, because I want to work through those things. I want to learn how to filter, when is the right thing to say or do something, when is not the right thing to say or do something, to be more aware of what's going on around me, be more in tune with my fellow friends and family, and just become better. Guys, this is a super soft launch. This is my very first episode of, I'm assuming I want it to be a podcast, but it's so much more than a podcast. Like, I want it to grow into this stage, and I just want it to be something great where people can just truly be themselves, truly express themselves without getting any backlash, and just coming to, accept each other. So, in celebration of Mother's Day, which at this point was last week, some of you guys know I am a new mommy. I have a 5-month-old. That experience was super duper special for me. It was super duper beautiful, super duper, I don't even have the words to express or explain the things I felt and went through as I was carrying my son, my firstborn, Bryce. So I thought it would be really special to document my experience from beginning to end, because I've spoken to a lot of different women. I know a lot of different women who have had children and who I have spoken to and have connected with and are friends with and family with. So many different women, and each woman's story, each woman's experience is different from the next. Your experience giving birth, carrying your child, the decisions you make as a mom is specific to your own. So I thought it would be really special, really important to document what my experience was like. I want to look back on this 10, 15, 20 years from now. You never know what can happen. I may forget certain details. I may forget certain things. I want to, while he's only 5 months, I want to document early on, while it's somewhat, I hope I can remember everything, because it has been 5 months, and when you're a new mommy and you're trying to do so many different things, you kind of, your memory is like fried almost a little bit. So I'm hoping I can remember and document every single thing, but we will see. But I want to try to do that while it's still somewhat fresh in my head, still somewhat fresh in my memory, about what my experience was like, what I felt, what I dealt with, the hard decisions that I had to make, the emotions, the feelings, and different things that you go through. It's also beautiful. Before I tell my story, I don't want you, whomever is not a mother yet, I don't want you all to be discouraged. It's a beautiful process. It really is. You grow and you flourish into someone that you weren't before. You couldn't be her before because you weren't a mother. You were a single woman. You were not a parent. So just different obstacles and things that you have to overcome when you become a new mom is something that as I reflect, and I'm still going through. As I was saying, I'm really no expert at any of the topics that I will be discussing on this podcast, but I am learning as I go along. So I figure, why not share what I'm learning and share with other women. Story, just finding myself and becoming this wife, mother, entrepreneur, figure that I'm striving to be. So welcome to my channel, The Real Brit G's Vocal Lounge. We're going to get super vocal. We're going to talk about all things. We are going to just express totally. There's no rules here on my channel. I don't think we can curse. I'm totally learning YouTube as I go. I just wanted to get this off the ground. I wanted to get this started because it's been on my mind, it's been on my heart and on my spirit since like 2020 when the pandemic first began. And that's how I opened my page, The Real Brit G's Vocal Lounge, because I'm like, okay, this is going to be the start of something. I have something great, something big that I know I want to eventually get into. I may not totally have the time right now, but let me at least get this page off the ground so people can get familiar with the name. So here I am now, soft launch, starting this podcast on YouTube, and eventually on other platforms. So I just hope that you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think before we get started. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do on YouTube. So, and let's get started. So, I made some bullet points here because I don't want to forget anything. There are certain topics that I know I want to touch on. So I made a little bit of a list. So excuse me if I'm looking to my right a couple of times. I want to stay on track. This is new for me, of course. So thank you guys so much for giving me this chance and taking your time out. I know some of you may be driving or working or, just trying to kill some time and need something to listen to while you clean the house or while you do whatever you need to do. So thank you so much. This is the start of something great, trust me. So just thank you times 1,000 before we even get started. Here, how and when I got pregnant. Oh my goodness. Okay, so just a little backstory about me. I've always been afraid of pregnancy. I am a pretty self-centered person. Honestly, if I'm honest with myself, I'm pretty self-centered. So to have to take care of another human being or be responsible for someone other than myself has always been a scary thought for me. Now, mind you, I've been in my relationship, my marriage now. I've known him for 10 years. We dated 6 to 8 years. I can't think exactly the numbers right now. We got engaged in 2018. We met in 2012. So we were boyfriend and girlfriend for 6 years, 6 long years. Finally got engaged in Jamaica, 2018, and we didn't get married until 2021. That is a whole nother podcast that we will touch on another time, about my wedding and my marriage and how and when I got married and that whole story. We can talk about that on another podcast, another episode. But yeah, so I'm pretty traditional when it comes to marriage and children and a family and just raising up what is to come after me. I'm pretty traditional when it comes to that. I always believed in marriage first, making sure that this is the right guy, that I'm truly in love with him, that he knows how to be the man of the house, how to provide, how to love me, how to take care of me, how to take care of his family, how to take care of our kids, just truly 100% fully getting to know a man before I have his baby, before I get married and any of that, because I believe I don't believe in divorce. So like I said, very traditional. Once I marry you, we are in this together forever and we're going to work through everything. So me and my husband, we were boyfriend and girlfriend for 9 years before we got married. We were engaged for 3 of those years, but we did not make it official marriage, walk down the aisle, that whole 9, until 9 years later. So I believe we both know each other very well. At that point we had lived together for some time, we worked together, we met at the same place. So anyway, long story short, I wasn't having a baby before marriage. I just wasn't. So I made my husband wait a pretty long time until I was ready. So finally, we got married in 2021. Like I said, that's a whole nother episode. We talk about that at a different time. But I finally got married, and once I got married, I had no excuse but to give this man a child. I'm being honest with you guys right now, okay? Please do not judge me. Like I said, pregnancy and children, the thought of family has always been a fear of mine. So I pushed it and I waited until I felt in my heart that we were absolutely 100% ready. So that's what we did. And once we got married, I got pregnant pretty quickly. Okay, so you can take that how you want to take that. Yeah, we got married in February. I knew I was pregnant by my birthday, which is March. So we got married very early February 4th or 5th or 6th. Oh my God. Guys, new mommyhood, your brain is like gone. Your memory, I have to leave notes for myself and mark stuff on my calendar so I don't forget. But yes, so we got pregnant just like literally the night we got married. At the hotel that night or within that week sometime, we got pregnant. I did not check. I knew it because I started to feel like a little tingling sensation in my boobs. And he told me, he was like, babe, I did it. I knew that he did it. And did it means, you know, did it. So I knew it was a possibility. And I had been pregnant before. So I knew that I am fertile, that I am able to get pregnant. So it happened pretty easily, quickly last time. I'm sure it's just as easy this time. Sure enough, yeah. March 13th, I just felt it up here in my breast. I felt the sensation up here. So I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm pregnant. I'm not taking a pregnancy test though until after my birthday because I want to have a good time. So I'm going to act like I don't know. Tea. Real tea, true tea. I'm gonna act like I don't know, have a good time, and then I will take a pregnancy test once the celebration is over. And that's exactly what I did. Sure enough, I took the pregnancy test about a week after my birthday. I bought 2. Dollar Tree. Ladies, if you suspect that you're pregnant, do not waste your time paying $10, $15, $20 for a pregnancy test. Go to Dollar Tree, they work the same. Every pregnancy test I've ever taken has been accurate, whether it was negative or positive. The first one, and I saw the line. I still have it in my drawer, believe it or not. I saw a very, very faint line, and I was like, yeah, that's a line. Like, that's a positive, those are positive results. So I was like, okay, the line is still pretty faint. Let me take another one. The next day or a couple days later, I took the second test and the line was there. There was no denying it. I was like, okay, I'm pregnant. Like I must be really, really early on because just a couple days ago, the line was super faint. My body was still processing this pregnancy. Now a couple days later, the line is there. So I am developing a fetus in my womb right now. I knew I was early on. I knew it. I had missed my period. I didn't receive any of my monthly symptoms. And I just knew. I'm in tune with my body like that. I like to know what's going on with my body. So when my period wasn't coming and I knew what happened the month prior in February, the night of our wedding, so I knew in my heart that more than likely, girl, you are pregnant. This is a possibility, so enjoy yourself, which is why I just enjoyed my birthday because I knew I'm about to embark on a new journey. So I told my husband immediately. I didn't make it a special occasion. I didn't lay it out for him and put little baby shoes next to it. I would have wanted to had I really thought about it or really, planned it out like that. But no, I just told him immediately. I saw the results and I came right out and I showed him and we just smiled and it was like a surreal moment. So that's what I did, and that was the moment between us. We knew from 5 or 6 weeks early on. The first people or persons that I told, I believe it was my cousins and my best friend Sean. I'm pretty sure, I know for sure I told my cousins early on, because my cousin, my Andrina, was actually pregnant at the same time. So it was super crazy. Like, okay, girl, we were pregnant at the same time. We're having babies at the same time. That was weird. That was super scary because she already has 2 kids. I don't want to tell her business. I'm going to have her on this episode on my channel, on my podcast, and we're going to talk more about so many other different things. She was like moving and buying a house, and she was doing so many other big things. Her getting pregnant was like a super shock for me at that time. So she, you guys can follow her out. I will have her on the podcast at Andrina Chanel on Instagram. My cousin, we were pregnant at the same time. Her daughter is a couple months older than mine. Yeah, so anyway, I told them first because those are like my sisters, my cousin Andrina and my cousin Sheree. We're in a group chat together. I sent them a text, and I was kind of like, I remember like joking around like, yeah, I guess, you know, I'm gonna have to take it easy on the drinks from now on, because, you know, I was kind of like just throwing little hints and jokes out there, and Andrina was like, what are you talking about? What are you? So eventually, you know, we talked about it and it came out. So that is who I told first. I then believe I told my best friend Sean after that. Can't remember exactly how that went. And then like just a few distant friends. Like, I didn't tell my close family, my close friends early on, because I wanted to make sure that I was sure. I wanted to be healthy. You know, I just took my time telling my family and friends, my close family and friends. I took my time telling them, but I told distant people who are not like in my life every day. You know, I did share with them, like my friend Gregory, my friend Renal, a few of my, you know, really good friends that are just off over there, that they can know. They're not going to say anything. It's not going to come out because they're not here with me. So I did tell them, you know, those were some of the people that I told first. My first doctor's appointment, I believe I was 11 weeks. I was 11 weeks and 4 days. I went to the doctor in May. Mind you, I found out I was pregnant in March. So all of March, all of April, I knew I was pregnant, keeping it a secret, just to kind of take care of myself, watching my body. I didn't feel any symptoms really until like the 6th or 7th week of pregnancy is when I started to feel tired and achy and nauseous, and, you know, I started to throw up. Typical. So my first doctor's appointment, the doctors wouldn't even see me until I was a certain amount of time along. So I was 11 weeks, 3 months. When you go to the doctor, the ultrasound tech and the doctors want to be able to see something. Yeah, you can take a pregnancy test and confirm that you're pregnant, but I knew I was pregnant. I didn't need to go early. I was pregnant. My period did not come. I knew we had done what we done in February, and I knew that I was pregnant. I just knew it. You have that intuition, you have that feeling on the inside. So I didn't feel like I needed to go until closer to 3 months, which is exactly what I did. So I went around 10, 11 weeks, and when I got there confirmed, that was actually Mother's Day weekend 2021. I confirmed with the doctor and an ultrasound tech and a nurse that I was 11 weeks and 4 days pregnant, and I was due in November. I knew that. So that was the beginning. That was the beginning of, okay, this is a confirmation I am pregnant. There's a little fetus there. Let's get this going. Let's get this planned out. Let's just start this journey. And I was hanging out with my family that weekend, so I wanted to confirm the pregnancy before that weekend. I was like, oh, this could be a great time to tell the family that I'm pregnant. We're having a barbecue. The family's getting together. Let's set it up for this Friday. Mother's Day weekend, I have it on video somewhere. I told my family, everyone was there, my mom, my dad, my sister, my aunts, my cousin, Timothy, my cousins Andrina and Sheree, and a few other people. It was like a family event, and I had given my mom a onesie and I gave my dad and my sister something so that they could kind of figure it out. So that was super cute. Once I told them, it was on and popping from there. We began planning. Just honestly, I was sick. I was super sick my whole pregnancy. Let me just put that out there. I was nauseous. I'm a sensitive person, all around, top to bottom, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm just sensitive and I feel things, but my stomach, anyway, my stomach, I'm crazy. My stomach is already super sensitive, and I knew that pregnancy would enhance that. Pro-choice. I've been pregnant before, and I was super sick during that pregnancy, so I knew that I was bound to get sick this time around as well. So I was just kind of waiting on it to start because I knew it was coming. Based on my first time's experience, I was fine in the early weeks, but as the weeks progressed, oh my God, I was sick. I lost weight. I lost 20 pounds in like 3 weeks. It was crazy. But anyway, same thing happened this time around. I was sick as hell. I could not eat. I could only drink things that make me burp, like seltzer, water, ginger ale, soda, you know, just stuff to create some air in my, I could only drink stuff that would make fizzle and pop on the insides and help create some space on the inside. That's all I could drink. I was eating, I don't think I really had a craving. I was eating a lot of, what was I eating? I don't remember. I didn't eat much during my pregnancy, honestly. I had cravings for things, like I was craving a funnel cake all summer long. Yeah, my appetite was just so back and forth and up and down and round and round. And if I ate too much, I would throw it up because I had this much space in my belly. So the baby was just growing and growing and growing. And yeah, I just didn't have any space in my stomach. So I couldn't eat too much. But I was so hungry. So it was like torture. It was like torture. So pregnancy, it was a beautiful process. It was an enjoyable process, but I was sick the whole time. Like from start to finish, I lost 35 pounds. I lost 35 from the moment that I got pregnant to the day that I gave birth. I was 35 pounds lighter from when I got pregnant. And that's because I was eating like peanuts. I was eating like nothing. And if I did say, okay, I'm gonna eat everything, my body would just reject it. I didn't have enough space to store all that food. It wouldn't digest. So that was the one thing about my pregnancy that, you know, I did not enjoy. The nauseousness, the sickness. So that is me. Everyone does not get morning sickness. Everyone does not get nauseous. You know, every woman's journey is different from the next. And that is why I think it's so important to just document mine, because my story is special. My journey is special. You know, it's mine. So anyway, second trimester was super fun. I had a lot of energy. Second trimester for me was the summertime. That was from like May to August, second trimester. So I had a lot of fun. I traveled a lot. I still had energy. You know, I wasn't too big yet. I hung out a lot. I met some friends. I went to a few pop-up shops. I went to a few brunches. I was back and forth like to Maryland and to Pennsylvania and to Jersey and to New York. Like I was just all up and down the East Coast, traveling a lot on the weekends. Just because I wanted to stay mobile, I wanted to keep moving, I needed to get out. Being home and pregnant and stuck in the house, and I actually work from home right now, so Monday through Friday I'm stuck in the house behind a computer, which I'm extremely blessed for, because and thankful for, because I'm able to stay home with my child right now, and I'm his sole caretaker during the day. So I am super geeked about that, happy about that I can save on childcare and just, you know, not miss a beat. not miss a beat as far as the development of my child. So I'm ecstatic about that, and I do not take that for granted. But you know, you want to get out sometimes. You want to get out. So when the weekends would come around and it was summertime, oh my God, I'd be gone. I booked a train ticket. I had just purchased a small SUV, so I was up and down the interstate, up and down Jersey Turnpike, and I was just from here to there, to there, to there, and I was just going places pregnant. Sometimes I was with my husband, sometimes I was not. So second trimester was a lot of fun. That was the summer. I was still sick, you know, I was so nauseous. I still wasn't eating well and not digesting well, but I did have a lot of fun. I just kind of going outside and hanging with people and being around people, it would help with my nauseousness. It would help take my mind off of how sick I was. So I did a lot of that in the summertime. Yeah, you know, I was dressing myself, I was styling my belly, and I had like this, I enjoyed disguising it. Like I enjoyed just dressing as if I'm not pregnant, but I'm clearly like 5 or 6 months. Something about that I just enjoyed. Like, oh girl, you're good. You know, I had fun doing that. A lot of fun just getting dressed and going places and people being like, you're pregnant? Yes, I am. Can't tell, can you? Yeah, don't judge me. Just because I'm pregnant, don't treat me differently. Treat me like I got me, my husband got me, my family got me. I'm out hanging out with you guys. No, I can't have a drink, but I can still have a lot of fun. So I'm going to come cute and snatched. Because I don't want you guys judging me. I don't want you guys, oh, you're pregnant, sit down, don't do anything. No, don't do that. Don't do me like that. I didn't like that. You know, a lot of people tried to do that to me during my pregnancy. That's not who I am. Second trimester was fun, like I said. But when third trimester hit, it hit like a ton of bricks. Like seriously, all of a sudden, I just could, the pelvic pain, because at this point the baby is now bigger and he's dropping, he's descending, he's preparing for his departure. So he 6, 7, 8 months, not so much 6, but the end of 7th, 8th, 9th, he was on my pelvis. I could not walk. I could not sleep. I could not get up out of a chair. It was the biggest, it was so painful. It was so much pressure. It was so much pressure. Like you felt like it's just a bowling ball on your abdomen, on you know, your pelvic, your lower area was just like, oh my God, I can hardly move. I'm feeling this pressure all day, every day. I have to work, I have to grocery shop, I have to drive, I have to clean, I have to cook, I have things I need to do, but I'm carrying around this bowling ball that is applying so much pressure on my pelvic, and it was super duper painful. And not only was it pelvic pain, it was just all over pain. Like you're just in pain, your head hurts, you're super tired, you don't sleep at night because you're so uncomfortable. You cannot, in your third trimester, you cannot get comfortable. I did not get comfortable. Sleep was not a thing. And for those of you who say, oh, get your sleep now, because you're not going to get any sleep when the baby comes, that's not true. I get more sleep now that the baby's here. It may not be a full 8 or 9 hours of sleep. You know, it may be more like 4 or 5 or 3 or 6, you know, it may be just a couple of hours, but at least I can get comfortable in sleep. At least I can put my feet up and just, you know, be all right for a couple of hours. When you're pregnant, you have this thing that you're carrying. You have this baby, and your baby that you're carrying, this at this point 6 or 7 or 8 pounds towards the end, you know, a human being that you're carrying around everywhere to do everything. And as you progress along, it's just more pressure. So I didn't sleep in my third trimester. I hardly slept. And I didn't eat. It was just terrible. Third trimester for me wasn't sleep on my back. I could only sleep on my side. Of course, you can't sleep on your stomach, you know, so sleep was no longer. I was in so much pain and so uncomfortable, could not find comfort in my third trimester. I did not sleep. I was up every hour. let alone how many times I had to go to the bathroom throughout the night. It's like I didn't use the bathroom as much as I did during the day when I did at night. Why? I'm not back and forth to the bathroom like this when I'm at my desk and I'm working and it's daytime. But at night when I'm trying to get some sleep and I'm trying to get comfortable here, I gotta be at the toilet every hour. So I was in pain, I was uncomfortable, I was not getting any sleep. I had to use the bathroom a whole lot. Granted, I was drinking a lot of water requested by the doctor, but it made no sense. I was using the bathroom every hour. And you would think I hadn't used the bathroom all day the way that I would go. TMI, but this is the truth. So third trimester was not a lot of fun. It was not a lot of fun. So once third trimester hit, and just to backtrack a little bit, I did throw myself a gender reveal. I had some friends come over that I know from the area that I had just met, and I had them come over just to celebrate the fact that I was having a boy. I remember at the ultrasound appointment, I actually saw the little penis before the nurse did. She put the monitor on and it came up on the screen, and I saw this little thing just he had his butt like kind of facing us and his legs were wide open like this, and I saw this little thing in between. I was like, oh my God, it's a boy. And I wanted a boy. I did not want a girl, if I'm completely honest about that. I did not want a boy. I'm sorry, I did not want a girl. I didn't want to have to go through all of the princessy little cutesy stuff that you gotta do for the girls. I just wasn't here for it. There's only one princess, and that's me. I'm being honest with you guys. I did not want a girl at the time. And now that I have my son, I can't wait to have a girl. But when I got pregnant, I was not here for it. And the Lord knew, and He blessed me. He blessed me. He blessed me. He said, Bray, I got you. I know you ain't ready. I want you to be a full, complete woman for your daughter. So I'm going to save your daughter for a couple years down the line when you get a couple more things together. But right now, you're ready for a kid. It's a good time in your life to have a baby. I'm going to bless you with this baby, and I'm going to give you a boy. Because I know you can manage that a little better than a little girl right now. I don't like females a whole lot, you know? Me and females don't really get along like that. Too tough. Real true tea. So, you know, I don't want that dynamic with my daughter. And, you know, that's why I'm on this journey. I want to better myself. I want to better my relationships and, you know, my viewpoint, my mindset. Another podcast, another episode. We'll get into those things. We'll get into all of those things. So yes, threw myself a gender reveal celebration just to reveal it to my family and my friends, and it was something I wanted to do, and I did it. Fast forward to my third trimester, just kind of ready and waiting, like planning the baby shower. The baby shower was epic. We had it in Oceanside. I can also drop down their information. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful venue. Great owners who were very responsive, and it was pretty affordable. I believe they had a special going on at the time. So yeah, my baby shower was dope. You guys can also go to my Instagram and check out some pictures from my baby shower that I threw. I planned it. Nobody can plan my events. I plan my own events, okay? So yes, third trimester, I was ready. I had been doing so much reading, so much research, just getting to know the process, making sure that I was well informed, well educated on the different medical terms and the different types of delivery, and just everything that has to do with being pregnant and going through this process, going through this journey. of preparing for the arrival of your child. I did a lot of research. I read up on a lot. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, highly recommended. Just read up on some things, listen to some things. You don't want to be blindsided when the doctor asks you certain questions, when the nurse asks you certain things. You want to know what you want. You want to know what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. It's very important. You don't want other people making decisions for you. So know your body and do some research. Read, listen, pick up a book, anything. Talk to your friends. You have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. There are so many women in my life who have been mothers for years now and who can, have gotten pregnant multiple times and know the process and know, so use your resources. Talk to your people, go on YouTube, go on Google, and just check it all out. Like, it's all there for you. You don't want to be misguided. You don't want to have, you don't want to be thrown off. You want to be aware. You want to be in the moment. You want to know what's going on. You want to be in control. You are in complete control. You have the right to say yes and no. You have the right to make the decisions and have the type of birth and pregnancy that you want. I truly believe that I had the pregnancy that I wanted because I manifested it. I prayed on it. I did my research. I was knowledgeable. I educated myself, and I had the answers, and I knew the procedures, and I knew what I wanted and how I wanted things to go. You are in complete control, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So I know I say to do your research and be aware, of what's going on, be knowledgeable on the process, but I will say that I wasn't totally knowledgeable when I decided to schedule my delivery. I elected to get induced, to bring on labor rather than it happening naturally, which I don't regret. For me, it went pretty well, but I know for a lot of women it doesn't. My pain tolerance, is just a lot stronger than most. So, I was so miserable in my third trimester. I needed a date. I needed something to look forward to. I needed to know, okay, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 5 days, in 4 days, in 3 days, I'm going to be giving birth. The pain and the uncomfortableness and the misery was that intense at that time that I chose to schedule my delivery, which is what I did. It's not for everyone. Again, go on YouTube. You look up videos on the process of induction and, gauge it yourself. Read up on it, listen up on it, and it's basically a medically induced labor. They conduct different procedures to help draw stability. I scheduled my induction for 39 weeks. My pregnancy was going well, so it was okay if he came a little early because he had no issues. I had no issues. It was a healthy pregnancy. He was a healthy baby. And my doctor approved it. She was like, if that's what you want to do, let's do it. So I scheduled it. I was that miserable. I scheduled it, and I was like, I'm not waiting. I don't want this to happen spontaneously. I don't want it to come by surprise. No, I want to know when this is happening. So I scheduled my induction. Lo and behold, 39 weeks comes along, the week of my scheduled delivery. So many people are having babies. Do you know that they bumped me? They called me and said, we have some emergency situations and you're not a priority, you're not at risk, so we're going to reschedule you for 2 or 3 days later. At this point, my stomach is in my throat. I cannot eat. My baby is this big. I can't walk. You should see me. I'm wobbling everywhere. At this point, I didn't start showing or really feel pregnancy symptoms until about 7 months along. But once they hit like a ton of bricks, and there was no stopping it, and it only intensified. So at this point, 39 weeks, when I'm scheduled to go in, I had left work. I'm on maternity leave. I said goodbye to my job. I'll see you guys in 4 months. I'm off. The day comes. You are to call that morning and say, hey, just calling to check and see and make sure that I'm still on to come in. I couldn't even call them before they called me. They said, we have a lot, the beds are all full and the nurses are all with a patient, and we don't have space for you right now. My mother was in town. My father was coming to town. It was Thanksgiving like the next week or something like that. And I wanted to be home for Thanksgiving. I did not eat during my entire pregnancy. So I was looking forward to Thanksgiving. I wanted a plate as tall as me. Turkey, dressing, mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, roast beef, the works. I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to a big, big plate. So when that day came and it wasn't my time, I'm pretty sure I cried. I'm pretty sure I cried. I was devastated. I was so ready for this baby to come. I was so uncomfortable. I was so ready to meet him. I had done everything I was supposed to do. I had a healthy pregnancy. I was healthy. Baby's healthy. I had my baby shower. The nursery was pretty much all set up. Everything was laid out and ready, and we were just ready. I was off of work. We were ready. So it was like finally time. You know, I had built myself up, and mind you, you have to build yourself up to feel ready. Like, okay, I'm about to give birth. This is a serious I don't want to call it procedure, but you just never know what can happen during childbirth, especially with women, Black women. So I had built up my confidence, and I had built up my just esteem, and I was ready. You know, I was ready for whatever it was going to look like, however it was going to be. I had built myself up, and it took a lot of work for me to get to that point. So once they told me not today, it just broke my heart. Seriously, I was so ready. And my mom, my women out there who have expected before and who knows that feeling, you guys can relate what it just feels like to be so ready and waiting, and just waiting day after day after day after day. So my mom was in town, my dad was in town. It was like the Monday or Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and at this point they still hadn't called me. It was like a week or two. I'm now on maternity leave. I left work. I was supposed to give birth 2 weeks ago. I'm now past my due date. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna let it go and enjoy Thanksgiving. My family's here. Thanksgiving is at my place this year, purposely because there's a new baby. So it's like, okay, we will have you guys cook Thanksgiving dinner, host Thanksgiving dinner. I will come home with the baby, and you guys will be here, and it'll be so perfect and special. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it didn't go that way. It didn't go that way. They called me. We are in my home cooking. The oven is on. We're getting the turkey prepared, and we just picked up my dad from the train station, and it's like, okay, it's the holiday season. The baby's not coming. He's not ready. You know, the hospital's full. It's not meant to be. I might as well just enjoy Thanksgiving weekend. No. They called me Thanksgiving Eve, literally, and they said hi, and they were so happy and excited, and shout out to all of the nurses out there, because from start to finish, you guys have, my nurses in particular, have been, I don't want to say exactly where I gave birth, but my nurses in particular were stellar. They took great care of me from the time that they called me to the time I checked out with my baby. They had my back, and they were informative, and they were helpful, and so sweet, so kind. Always great energy. So I want to give a special shout out to all the nurses out there. You guys literally are the true heroes. So yeah, she called me, my nurse, she called me, and she was like, hey, we have a bed ready for you. You want to come in now? I'm sitting, you know, like a whale, smelling up the food, enjoying my family, and now I have to leave them. I have finally let go of the idea that I will be home for Thanksgiving, and that I'll be home for Thanksgiving with my baby, and just to let it go. It's not happening. It's Thanksgiving Eve. You're not giving birth before Thanksgiving. You're just not. Lo and behold, they call me Thanksgiving Eve, and what was I supposed to say? No, I'm going to enjoy Thanksgiving and come afterwards. Why would I do that? I went in. At this point, I was past my due date. I was miserable, ready to get this baby out. Scared. scared because I'm like, I had let it go. So my mindset wasn't there at that point anymore. I had just let it go. So yeah, we went to the hospital. It's about 15 or 20 minutes away from my home, and we checked right in. Easy breezy check in, and then like I said, the nurses were great. They started the different procedures on lowering the baby. They had stuck me with epidural stuff and fentanyl. I had some fentanyl in me. While I was hooked up at the hospital. I ain't want to tell you after today, but I was on that fentanyl. Great stuff. Say no to drugs unless it's administered by professionals. But that fentanyl, I felt nothing. I was in like a daze. Yeah, so it took about, I was in labor. He wasn't coming down. He wasn't moving. They were conducting different procedures to like open me up a little bit, tap on my cervix and open up that cervix because it was like hard as a rock and the baby really was not ready. So we had to do multiple, and that's why I say you guys go on YouTube and do your research on the multiple different ways to bring your baby down. I will say a lot of different procedures that they did were natural procedures. It wasn't totally medically induced. They would insert something to open me up. You know, they would blow up a balloon and they would tap on my cervix. There were different things just to kind of work it instead of injecting me with a bunch of nonsense to soften my cervix. No, we worked at it. It took about 24 to 48 hours for me to open up even just a little bit. But once I hit that 4 or 5 centimeter mark, and me and my husband were in the hospital. We have our overnight bag, and he's sleeping on this hard plastic couch thing. I'm sleeping on the most uncomfortable delivery bed. I'm still pregnant. You know, I haven't given birth yet, so I still have this pelvic pain. Yes, I'm on drugs right now, but there are different side effects to these drugs. I can't eat. When you're in labor, you cannot eat. So I'm drinking freaking ices and chewing on ice chips. It's just drinking ginger ale. Like, it's misery. 48 hours I did not eat. Finally, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, that evening around 6 p.m., finally, I started to feel pressure on my butt. Ladies, when you're expecting, you think you're gonna feel pressure in your vagina, but not really until you're pushing. The pressure first begins in your rectum. It feels like you gotta take a major poop. So, you know, I'm with my nurse. Me and my nurse are just talking, killing time. Actually, one of my favorite nurses. I'm so glad I got to give birth with her because she was one of my favorites. I'm like, okay, I have to get up off, I need to get on my knees. You know, I'm starting to feel a lot of pressure. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to sit here anymore. So I got up on my knees and we were kind of just swaying back and forth and doing different exercises and just trying to work it and wait. We were waiting. I was in the hospital now for 2 days. So we were just kind of going through the process. We knew it was coming soon, but we had to just stay patient. And they were in and out. I had maybe 3 or 4 different nurses. They kind of took shifts. They did 12-hour shifts. So all day I would have someone, and then all night I would have someone else. And then, you know, that was the schedule the whole time I was there. I had maybe 4 or 5 nurses. They were all great. They were all exceptional. But my last nurse, the one I actually gave birth with, and she was almost off the clock. Their shifts are 7 to 7. So I think I gave birth at like 6:30. She had been with me all day, and we were working towards, you know, opening me up and just keeping me comfortable and staying patient. And she was about to get off, and her shift ended up being extended because she had to stay with me, her patient who just gave birth. And she was just so down to earth, so relatable. And we were talking. I had kind of forgot where I was, you know, at one point. So the pressure of the birth just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I kind of forgot while we were there, you know, and it got real really quick. So yeah, once I started to feel him coming down and I knew I had to get up off my behind because I'm feeling pressure on my rectum, I feel like I gotta poop, I want to get off, it hurts, I'm on my knees, and um, I'm dilating more and more and more and more. I think it's 9 centimeters, 6 or 7 or 8 centimeters or 9 centimeters dilated that you have to be in order to give birth. And I had broke through like 4 or 5 centimeters, and after that, 6, 7, 8, 9 centimeter, they came within like 30 minutes to an hour. So once I hit 8 centimeters, the doctors were getting themselves together. They were making their phone calls. The nurses were coming in. They were getting me prepped, getting me in position, and it got real fast. Mind you, my family is still in town. My family's still at my home enjoying Thanksgiving weekend. So my husband, he wasn't comfortable there. He was sleeping on a cot. You know, he wasn't eating that well. It was Thanksgiving weekend. We had been in there. There was really no reason for him to be there at that time. So he decided to leave. And this is before I started to feel the delivery pressure. He decided to, okay, the house is 15-20 minutes away. I'm just gonna go take a drive real quick, get some fresh air, stretch my feet out, have a beer, you know, check on the house and things like that, check on the family, because everyone's waiting. So it's been 2 days. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna go check on the family. Do you know, the moment he left is when it got real? The moment he left is when it got real. I started to feel that pressure, and the doctors and the nurses were all like running circles around me. My husband was at the house. We had been cruising up until that point, up until I started gradually getting more closer and prepared. We had just kind of been cruising. I had been moving really slow. But once I broke through that 4 or 5 or 6 centimeter, oh my goodness, it happened so fast. I had to, we were stuck at like 4 centimeters for like a day, for like 24 hours. And then once I broke past that, everything else started moving pretty quickly. So I was ready in a matter of an hour. I was like not ready at 4 or 5 centimeters, and then ready from between like 5 and 6. It was crazy. So I had to call him like, babe, hurry up. The doctors are here, the nurses, I'm feeling the pressure. I'm about to push. The pressure is crazy. The pressure is intense. So mind you, remember, you have to be 9 or 10. I can't remember, guys. You have to be a certain amount of numbers dilated, 9 or 10 centimeters dilated, before you can start pushing. So I was at like 9 and a half, 9 and a quarter, and the doctors were there, the nurses were there, and I was screaming like, I need to push, I want to push. And they were like, hold on, just hold it, just hold it. They were waiting till I was completely at that number that I needed to be at. I'm like, do y'all understand this baby's head is coming through right now? Y'all are trying to wait. So he raced back, mind you. I'm like, I'm ready to give birth. I'm about to give birth right now. I'm telling the nurses, I'm screaming at the nurses like, let's go now. Like, I can't take this. It's coming. I can't help but to push. But like I said, they wanted to wait until I was 9 or 10 centimeters dilated. My husband got there just in time. And I think I pushed, I pushed for my dear life. I was so ready for that baby to get out. I used all of the strength that was within me, and I pushed that baby out. And I would say in like 7 to 8 pushes. And pushes is a 10-second push. You push as you're contracting. Contractions are a beast. Next time I'm gonna try to do them without epidural. I did do epidural this time. I did not have any side effects or any I know there's a lot of horror stories. I honestly had an ideal, beautiful pregnancy. I did, and I manifested it, and I prayed on it, and I waited until the time was right for me. And I think that because I did that, it was a lot of the reason why I had such a successful pregnancy, in my opinion, because I did it on my terms. My husband didn't pressure me. My family didn't pressure me. My friends didn't pressure me. You know, they're like, oh, you guys been together for so long, you need to hurry up and give him a baby. But I wasn't ready. I waited until I was ready, and I did my own research, and it was the pregnancy that I wanted it to be, and I had the baby of my dreams. And I believe you know, that happened because of the work that I put in and the belief that I had within myself and the manifesting that I did, period. And God, my angels and my ancestors and everyone that looked over me and after me, and I wouldn't do it any other way. So I recommend that. But yeah, I pushed them. I was maybe 6 or 7 pushes. My numbers are so off on this episode, but bear with me, guys. It's not much I remember these days. So he came, and it was intense. Pushing, you can do it, but you're gonna have to dig deep for that strength, and you're just gonna have to ignore it during the duration of your delivery. Just ignore it. Know that it's worth it, and it'll be all over soon. Just push so that'll be over quick. So that's what I did, and he was here, and it was so beautiful. He was 7 pounds, and again, my numbers are off. My memory's off. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's real. I juggle a lot. I work 40 hours a week. I am the sole caretaker of my child during the day, and I have a home here that I run and take care of and control. I have businesses, I have family, I have friends. It's a lot to keep up with. So please, these numbers were from 5 months ago, so I don't remember exactly everything at this point. It's so much has happened since then, and so much is currently going on that I can't exactly remember. But that was my story, and it has been beautiful thus far. Yes, I experienced postpartum. Yes, I experienced a little bit of depression and loneliness, and I've experienced depression before, so I know when it's here. I know when I'm going through it, and I know what to do to get out of it. I just keep myself busy doing things that make me happy. I plan things, I set things up. I, put something in place for me to look forward to. I get up, I cook, I go outside, I go to the grocery store, I go for a drive. I watch a podcast, or I read a story, or I play with my son. Just whatever it is that makes me happy. I shop online, I window shop, I look at houses, just whatever. So on a future episode, we will revisit postpartum and what it's been like to be a mom. Maybe I can have some other mothers on here to have the conversation with me. That would be awesome. But I want to, in lieu of Mother's Day, my first Mother's Day, my first couple of months as being a mom, reflecting back to this time last year, I had just told my family, so it's just a special time, and I thought it would be really nice to share and document. I want to look back on this, and hopefully, my story can help someone. Let me know what you guys think about what I'm doing here. I have some great things in store, some great things planned, and I just hope that you guys can continue to follow and look out for what's to come. It's all going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to break some barriers. So thank you. Thank you guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Follow me on all platforms. I have 3 different Instagram pages because I am a businesswoman, and I have brands, and I have things that I'm passionate about, and I share them with you all free of cost. If you just want to follow my Instagram, you should go ahead and do that. Liking this video, free of cost. Commenting, free of cost. Subscribing, click the button, it's nothing. And stay tuned. This is a soft launch, so excuse any hiccups or anything. I don't know what this is exactly going to turn out, this exact video, but I just wanted to get it off the ground. I'm headed to a barbecue. It is the weekend here. It's May, and it's warm out, so we're going outside. Me, my baby, and my husband. We're gonna go hang out. So, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope I inspired someone. I was in the hospital 2 days after I gave birth, and we came home. My husband and my baby is up. So yeah, we came home, and it's just been crazy. It's been nonstop since then. He's 5 months now, and it's just it's a lot of fun though. So stay tuned, guys. I just want to keep talking and having these conversations, and we're gonna get some people on here and just have some fun. I like to talk. I'm a talker. I am a talker. I like to communicate. I like to express. I like to come into and find resolution. I like to listen to other people and hear their stories. I do. So this is what this channel is all about. It's about everything. Whatever you're about is what this channel is about. Okay, so like, comment, subscribe, follow me, and we're gonna have fun. Thanks, guys. See you later.